Hey, Tom here, FlipAnything USA. Hey, I just got a contract back tonight on a property that I'd made an offer on. Really didn't care if I got it or not, but it came back and I got it. So I thought we'd talk a little bit about investing in times like these. People that are not talented, as far as with carpentry skills, and it's really, you guys really got to be careful. It's too easy to lose your ass when you don't know what you're doing. And this is a good example, the one that I'm working on, or I will be working on before long. It is very much like that. So you guys hear me okay? Let me know. And I don't normally have the controls like this. I don't know what's going on. Oh, hey, Gun Show. You hear me okay, buddy? Let me know. Had some problems here. Okay, great. Thanks, buddy. All right, so those of you just getting here, got a book, Wake Up and Smell the Real Estate. Been an investor for 42 years, and just about every kind of property you can think of I own or have owned, apartments, commercial, industrial, all that sort of stuff. And anyways, but today I thought I'd talk about, first of all, I got to say, I got a really, really great something to share with you. I changed the back of the book cover on my book just to reflect the success of my students, which is really amazing. And I'll show you that in a little bit here too. But, so I thought, look, I got a house I just got under contract. And so when I went and looked at this property, at first, I was like, I thought, you know what, I'll take it. I said, I'll take it. It's 300 grand. I was saying, anybody that knows me, you move quickly. That's how you get a lot of the deals. That's how I get a lot of the deals that I get, is I move very, very quickly. But I know value, so I know when I can take something like that. In this property, I bought 12 houses in this particular neighborhood. And so getting one more, it appealed to me. It was the right price. I just sold the house for I think either 405 or 415. And so if I could get this one for 300, I figured I'd throw 30 grand in. I knew it'd need a little bit of work. Well, when I got there, it didn't need a little bit of work. It needed a lot of work. It was horrible. And so I said, look, I'm going to amend my offer. I said, look, and I don't even care if I get it or not. I said, I'll give you 250. And then I actually told a friend of mine about it, Chris, actually, who's also in the class. And I told him. And he says, man, I'm not cut out to do the amount of work. Because it was a lot of work to do. So then I thought about it a little more, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to get this thing if I offer 250. I don't even want it for 250. So I amended my bid to be 225. And lo and behold, they called me, and they said, hey, you got it. And so I just signed the DocuSign just a little bit ago. But these kinds of deals, a lot of people really underestimate. I've even underestimated, and I've been doing this stuff forever. But sometimes, your optimism, you say, I can do this. And one of the things I'm guilty of is I like to do a good job. And so a lot of times don't like really doing things half-assed. I don't mind cleaning up a property. And I'll tell you, you get in trouble as soon as you start to touch the kitchen and start to make it look better. Because, I can tell you, if you put in like a stainless steel, a new stainless steel washer, dishwasher, and it looks like a spaceship landed in the kitchen, okay? Especially if it's an old kitchen. Now, if you had the old almond-faced one like was in there originally, it doesn't look so odd. It just kind of blends. It kind of goes with everything else. But like I say, you go throw something in stainless steel, and then all of a sudden, it does look like there's a flying saucer in the kitchen. And all of a sudden, something doesn't look right. And now the kitchen, everything looks like shit after that. That's just how it goes. But I'll give you some details Let me get the whiteboard going here, and I'll show you a little bit. I got my whiteboard finally working here where I can access it kind of quickly. So let's go over here. I need practice using this thing anyways. So all right, so let me know you can still hear me okay. Let's see. All right. So let me tell you a little bit about this house, first of all. This is a side profile of the house. Okay. I'm going here. I'm going to do this kind of slow. So the house, the roof lines are like this. And this will help you understand. This is a garage door. Okay, and so a top view of this is what this house looks like. Make sure you guys can see that. Move this over a little bit. Why that's not working? Oh well. All right. So a top view of this house, it looks like this. Right. So the garage, I'm getting some weird stuff here. And so I kind of like this kind of approach and this kind of a garage. So the street is here, and so the garage goes like this, right? The driveway is like this. Now there's a couple things. This is the roof line, and so you're looking, when I'm showing you this, you're looking this way. You guys got that? All right. Well, what they did in this particular house is, there's a couple things they did. They did an addition. They did an addition on this whole back. And so what they did is they tied in like this. And they added this addition to the back of the house, and it goes the full length of the house. So if you can imagine, it's kind of like this. You know, that's the roof line, and then this goes back here. Well, they didn't tie in high enough, or as high as I would have liked them to, and it almost looks like as if they left the tails down, and then they boxed it in like this. So you got these tails, and then it's boxed in here, and now this is, now I'm kind of doing a combo side view, top view. So this is the top again. So they got this funky hallway here that has an entrance from the living room, has another entrance from a hall, and then it has a hall itself in here. And they've got like a bathroom and a room and a room, and it's just kind of it's not very desirable. What's really funky is that when you enter, I'll get rid of this. This is confusing, but I think you guys follow me. So this is back to strictly side view now. Okay. What I'm going to do. So when you walk in here, this ceiling's too low. This one looks okay. Now they did this to accommodate ducting going through like this. See, they got a duct going through here, and then it ties into the plenum box, you know, that feeds the rest of the house in different rooms. That's the AC. But what I'm going to do is I'll go in and I'll just eliminate this whole thing. I'll tear out all these walls. Not that there's much to them. I'll just abandon this AC duct. We'll just get rid of that altogether. And then this will be a nice ceiling height to transition from walking in from here to here. It won't look so funky. It'll be higher, actually be a little bit higher in here. And then what I'll probably do is I'll just throw a little split unit. The other thing is I'm getting rid of, let's go back to the top view on this again. What that is. Okay, this thing's doing crazy stuff, I guess. Back to the top view. Garage area, main house. Okay. Okay, there's the garage, right? There's the access. And then there's this addition back here. The walls that are in here, the one that has the bathroom, we'll keep the bathroom. Yeah, I think the bath, so there's a bath here. These walls are going. There's already a header there. We'll clean this up and we'll make sure. And now this will be a nice expansion of the living room. The kitchen, I'm going to restore the garage doors back. So the garage doors, there's actually two of them. Those are going back. There's a laundry room. They got rid of this wall's going back in too, where there's the laundry. And then in here, the kitchen kind of extends out here. I'm going to bring this out and just put a little island cabinet. And by the way, you know, I talked to you guys about repurposing old cabinets and things like that. I've got probably 2 or 3 kitchens worth of cabinets sitting, you know, nicer houses that, you know, where I pulled the cabinets out. You know, the cabinets weren't as good as the ones I was going to put in, but they're still plenty good. So I can restore this kitchen either with what's there or just put some of the stuff I've got laying around in my warehouse. And so, but I'm going to do this on the cheap. So like I say, you know, when you enclose a garage, that's an easy way to add a lot of money. A lot of people don't know that. But when you enclose a garage and air condition it, now that is now living square footage. You got to add that to the total square footage of the house. You know, the garage normally isn't counted. When you see a 1,200 square foot house, you enclose it, now it's $1,600. Now you get $200 or $300 per foot for that garage that you wouldn't have got otherwise, as long as they can look past not having a garage. Well, this one's so big because of the addition on here. I think this house is maybe 2,600 square feet. So when I restore this back to garage, I think it makes it more desirable. This will be back to garage. You know, this will be 2,200. Still be 2,200 square feet. Okay. But remember, you know, I'm getting this for $100 a foot. But these little changes here are going to be as cheap as I can make this thing work. But let's talk about the cost associated with this, right? Now, this thing is trashed. And so you don't want to fool yourself. And that's why I went in at 300, walked out at 250, and then thought about it and said, make it 225. Here's a couple things. We have 2 bathrooms, okay? Okay. I can beat this price, but I'm going to round up. And I'm going to say 2 bathrooms, $20K. It's probably not going to cost that much, but I'm going to pencil that in right now. The kitchen, I'm going to put $15K. It's not going to cost me that. It's going to be a little less than that for sure. But I'm going to just, better to overestimate your costs on something like this to help dissuade you, because you want to have a very high standard for making profit. This is one of the reasons I do so well, is I have a high standard for making money. If you set your standard, oh gee, you know, and a lot of these guys, listen, you guys get on this, you know, what do they call it, ARV, after repair value, right? Listen, just like forget that terminology to a large degree when you're making a deal. Just figure out what it's worth to a guy that wants a fixer-upper, and then whatever it's worth to somebody that has a fixer-upper, let them do the blue sky and dream about how much more it'll be worth. You just need to buy it for less than it's worth. You know, before any kind of repairs or anything like that, you want to make a deal on the before repair value. That's where I'm at. I could flip this probably to somebody and make 40 grand on it the way it is. But even then, I'd still want to gut it. And so I'm going to take you through the process just so you understand how I think about it and how I do this. So I'm gonna go 2 baths, 20, kitchen, 15K. Okay, I'm just gonna say floor, 10K. I'm just gonna put maybe, I'll get it for 10K. No, I'm just gonna, no, I'll get it for 10K because I'm pulling this out. But, you know, it'll be about a 2,000 square foot of flooring. And what I'll do is I'll just put the, you know, the indoor, outdoor, not indoor, outdoor, but the new weatherproof vinyl flooring. I love it. It's waterproof. I've had floods happen and the stuff just dries out and it's beautiful. There's no mold or mildew. It's quite nice. So already here I've got $45,000 now. And, you know, I'm gonna now, what else we got in here? And so I got the bathrooms. That means all the fixtures, you know, tile, you know, I'll probably throw a tub in at least one of these. You know, again, there's plenty there. At $10,000 a bathroom, I'm not gonna put in glass enclosures. You know, glass enclosures, by the way, you know, those run, I just put 2 in yesterday and they're $2,400 a door, per shower, right? You can, you know, they're nice ones, they're real nice though. You can do it for $500 from Home Depot if you want, and that's what kind of house this is. This is a Home Depot house, everything in at Home Depot. But so now back inside here, the first thing I'm gonna do is I don't know if I'll do it with a container, but I'm gonna gut the place. I'm gonna go in and I am gonna rip out every bit of base. I'm gonna scrape the ceilings, all the popcorn off the ceilings. I'm gonna look at the bathroom cabinets. I'm gonna give them a second look. I'll either leave them and paint them or I'll rip them out. Either way, it's not a big deal. But probably just rip them all out. I'm gonna change all the stops on the walls. I'm gonna go in and just skim coat everything, just skim everything after we scrape the popcorn off. Everything's gonna get, you know, a hit of what we call like an orange peel, kind of more like a Monterey. That's like a thick orange peel, but with a knockdown on it, because it'll be easier to hide all the blemishes in the wall. It's just kind of a rough, and then you go back with a rubber squeegee and it just wipes it all down. So on the sheetrock and that sort of thing, you know, and then, so I'm just gonna say $5,000, okay? And that includes my guys probably going in there, gutting it and dumping it. And then I'm gonna have paint. Paint's expensive. You know, I'll spend on this, it's got a lot of brick, so I think I can paint the interior and the exterior for about $6,000. Okay, there's paint. And then, what else we got? Let's just put in $5,000 for electric. That means the $5,000, just so you know, that's gonna be like just some basic $150 fans in each of the bedrooms, you know, some new fixtures, you know, wherever they're needed, but new plug plates. I'd like to update, I'll update all the plugs and switches. That always makes it a lot nicer. You know, if somebody sees a decent looking switch and switch plate, it makes a difference. It makes it all feel a little nicer. So what do we got here? So let's go 5, well, 6, 5. So we got 20, 35, 45, 50, 61,000. 61,000. And then let's just add $5,000. You know, I consider, you know, whether I have cash or not, I like to pay myself something. I just consider the money being tied up. So let's just say 5% on, you know, roughly 300,000, because 61 plus the 225, you know, I'll have 386 in it. No, I'm sorry, 286. And I can probably sell this now for about 386. I can probably sell it for about 100,000 more than this. So you can see right now the way this is turning out. When I'm done, I'll have 225 for the 225. A little bolder. That is not very bold. Anyways, let's start over here. All right, 225, 61 here. So there's 286, okay, and then I'm gonna have another, let's just say I sell it for 385, right, or just say 386. So I expect to sell it 386. And so there's 100K, right? Well, there's not 100K because just say I've got in total 6 months holding costs, 5%, 5% interest, time is money. So 5% interest on this 300,000. So what do we got there? That sounds like 7,500 bucks interest. So I'm going to put that up here, 7,500. And I'm going, that's 5% on 300K. Actually, I should cut that in half. No, I did cut it out. That's fine. So 7,500 there, and then real estate agent. So I'll list this with an agent for probably, I'll just give it make it a 4.5%, 1.5 on the listing side, and 3 on the for the buyer. Whoever the buyer's agent, they get 3%. I'm only giving 1.5 to the listing agent. So again, there's 4.5 on, let's just round off to say 400,000. That's going to be roughly $16,000 commission. That's commission. So we're going to add another 23,500. We're going to take that away from it. Let's just take away 25K. And so really now, I'm only going to make 75,000 on this. Now I'll probably do a little bit better because I rounded up on all these numbers, and that's what I suggest that you do. But there you go, 225. But putting 61 grand in it. By the time you figure the fees and some interest, because I charge myself interest, it doesn't matter. Look, I got a couple $1 million line right now. I got several of them, but I got one of them that's as low as 4%. So I can pull money on that for another 18 months at 4% before I have to renew it, and then it'll probably jump to 7.5 because that's what the going rate is now. But so there you go. I just thought that might be interesting to some of you, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. And now I can see your comments, and we can talk about it a little bit. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, everything's permitted. Yeah, everything's permitted. Oh, hey, Robert. How you doing, buddy? So, anyways, that's that. I know a lot of you guys sometimes, and a lot of people do. The numbers get away from you. You get too optimistic on what you can do it for, and and I'm looking at the whiteboard here right now. But that is, 75,000 though. It's it'll keep some guys working. Look, I'm not crazy about it. I'm kind of doing this really for the channel more than anything. I really didn't want it, but there's money there. But there's it's in there. I mean, I don't mind making 75 and keeping people I like to keep busy. So, but it's really not for me. If I didn't have the channel, I might have passed on this one. Let me put it that way. But it is what it is. What's that say? Oh, David. Hey, you doing, David? You like the rundown on that? I'm glad you do. Oh, good. So that's how I do it, and I think I got everything in there. Like I say, I put in something there for cleanup. Sometimes you forget stuff, but overall, yeah. And you know what? Yeah, and I kind of did. I did pass on something. You know what I missed? I did miss something here. I should have thrown 10 grand in there for AC. So now I'm down to 65,000. Now 10 grand again is more than it's going to cost for me to I'm just going to assume I need to replace it, the FAU. I actually have another good condenser sitting somewhere. But yeah, yep. So yeah, that all looks pretty good. And this is a little bit out of town for me. It's not in my city, but nevertheless, it'll work. Oh, Robert, sold another apartment. 36 grand in profit. Man, Robert, you were killing it, man. I love hearing that, buddy. So glad. So listen, look, I got a deal today. You got a deal. Chris got a deal also. He's gonna close his in the morning. Chris is gonna make 100K on his, for sure. without having to do anything, which is my preference, by the way, is to not do anything if I can. Wow, 48 before taxes, huh? That's great, man. Well, congratulations, Robert. And the money goes a lot further in your country than ours. So that's like, that's a knockout, man. That's a big one. I'm happy for you. So anyways, you guys like this whiteboard stuff, you let me know, and we'll start doing more of it. And anyways, if you just got here, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, helps the channel. Always happy to help people how I can. And, Robert, man, that's awesome, buddy. Yeah, I know. That's like 100K, I know. So you made your 100K too, Robert. I'm happy for you. That really is great. Robert is in Portugal, and to make that kind of, that kind of money over there is big. It's a big chunk. And you know what, though? It's not that hard. And listen, if you don't have the book, get the book. Listen, there's so much fake stuff out there and so much BS. Guys that are young guys that don't know what the hell they're doing. In this wholesaling business, they talk about doing 500 deals or 50 deals or whatever. And it's just, thanks, Robert. I appreciate it. You did it, man, but I'm glad I helped how I did. So let's see. David wrote, could you consider trying to bump up the price and test the market? Yeah, I don't have any confidence, David, that the market's going to be stronger at the end of 4 months. And this is why I tell you guys, I always buy under market, because that's my hedge against things going bad. And things are going bad. Things are going bad. Now, this particular neighborhood, I still own. I told you I bought 12 houses over there. Well, I still own 4. I do like the properties, and there's a lot of pluses in that area that that I'm partial to. And so, I don't even mind holding it. But you know what, I'll tell you what I'll probably do, just so you know, because I want to be totally upfront with you. What I'll probably do, because here's the other thing. If I make 65 or 75,000 on this, I'm still going to get clobbered on taxes. And so for me, a lot of times, I'll sit on something a year. I'll even let it sit empty for a year and not even rent it sometimes, just because the capital gains drops. And so what I might do is I may just put this into the loop of holds or rent. And what I'll do is I'll take one of those properties that I got and I'll just go ahead and sell it. One of the other ones that I'm already out of that 1 year range. So just something to consider. But anyways, Robert, thanks for popping in. Everybody, I appreciate you hanging out. I know it's kind of late, and we'll see you guys sometime soon. And like I say, if you're new here, please hit that subscribe button and get the book. You'd be glad you did. And we'll talk to y'all a little bit later. You want to learn how to make